Hey guys. Alright, how's it going? Well, I realized that I omitted a few things from the first Grant Stone Alden comparison video, so I decided to do a part 2 in the series, and this time, to keep things simple, I'm gonna focus on the mock toe versions of the boot that I have, more specifically, as Alden calls it, the Tanker boot, or the Norwegian Split Toe, or as Grant Stone calls it, the Ottawa boot model. And all three of these are characterized by the mock toe stitching here, as well as the split toe design. This is the Alden Tanker boot in hunting green suede. I did a video on that. This is the Grant Stone Ottawa boot in black chrome excel. And this is the Alden Tanker boot in navy chrome excel. I wanted to touch on the finishing of the edges. I'm gonna get the camera outside and get a little closer, but basically the Aldens have finished edging, and you can see that along here and along here, the finished edging, whereas Grant Stone has unfinished edging. So I'll delve more into that, and I'm also gonna show a couple other pairs from a couple other brands, just to kind of give you an idea that the finished edging is not necessarily a mark of quality. I think it's more just a mark of formality. And so I'm going to try to explain that, because both Viberg and Truman boots have unfinished edging similar to the Grant Stones. And I think it's more just a mark of looking casual, not so much a mark of being high quality, because I have J. Crew Kentons, which are fairly inexpensive, that have finished edging. I used to have some Johnston & Murphys that had finished edging. And so again, it's not necessarily a sign of being superior or inferior necessarily. I think there's a lot more to the story than just that. I'm gonna get these outside and then we can compare them up close. So on all my Aldens, they have what's called this finished edging around here, all around here. See, at the top, down the front, you got the edging is finished, meaning the leather is sort of folded back on itself to make it real smooth, and it's the same way on this one, all around the edging there. Whereas on the Grant Stones, you can see here, that is not finished edging. So, like I said, this lends to a more casual look. I don't believe that is necessarily a mark in lower quality, but yeah, you can see that edging all along. It's open. So they basically just cut the leather and left it open there. I think that looks good with these leather laces. See how the leather laces they're two-toned, and then this leather is two-toned. Tan on the edge, black on the surface. Tan on the edge, black on the surface with the laces. I think that's cool, but that is a bit more casual. Compare that to the Aldens, again, slightly more dressy with that finished edging. Just a little bit more refined of a look. So again, if I was gonna throw one on with a suit versus throw one on with jeans, this would be my jeans pair, this is my suit pair. So, all right, so real quick, I'm just gonna show an example of the edging on some of my other shoes from other brands. Hopefully this gives a better idea of what I'm talking about. So these are J. Crew Kenton suedes. These are the less expensive line of J. Crew men's footwear. These are Goodyear welted, but as you can see, so these are the least expensive. I believe I got these on sale for about 90 bucks. And you can see that these have finished edging on them. And then this is a pair of J. Crew Ludlow shoes, also with finished edging. I believe full price these are about $300-ish, but you can also snag them on sale from time to time. And then here are the Viberg service boots in brown chrome excel. You can see that the edging here is unfinished, similar to the Grant Stone. And then here we have the Truman boots in navy horse rump, also unfinished edging all along here. And I did do a quick check.
one of my other J. Crew Kenton suede shoes, it's a Chukka boot actually, that has unfinished edging as well. And I just did this to kind of show how interchangeable the edging is. It doesn't seem to be, you know, one way is superior to the other, as we can clearly see these Vibergs, you know, are in every way superior to these J. Crew Kentons. And they choose the unfinished edging. So alright, so now let's get a closer look at the backs of these, and we can talk about the backs, how the backs compare. So again, this is my Alden Tanker boot in navy chrome excel. This is my Grant Stone Ottawa boot in black chrome excel. So you get a shot of the navy versus the black. And then this is the Alden Tanker boot on the Berry Last in hunting green suede. I talked about this in my other video. The back heel strip on the Aldens starts out wide at the bottom, and as it comes to the top it narrows out. Same with this one on this pair of Aldens. And then see here on the Grant Stone you got this heel cap which covers over the back heel strip. So it's a little bit of a different look. And then it also has this back sort of split fold that's stitched together there at the bottom. Gives it a unique look. So the Grant Stone does look a little bit different compared to the Alden. And then here we go, the soles. This black pair of Ottawa boots has sort of a cherry finish going on the soles, whereas on these Aldens they're just pretty much your basic antique look, which I absolutely love. I think all my boots have that antique sole. I just love that antique sole. All right, and this is a well-worn pair of Chrome XL. This pair of Chrome XL in navy Chrome XL is actually a lot different from my other boots in Chrome XL. This one's actually, instead of forming creases, it's actually formed sort of ripples, this rippling effect you see here and here. None of my other boots have really done that. Now these Grant Stones have not been worn enough, probably about 5 times, so they have not been worn enough to really form any sort of break-in yet. Now it's starting to get some creases on the toe across here, but aside from that, this one has not been abused nearly as much as these Tanker boots have. All right, let's get these in position. Okay, so I want to kind of compare the eyelets here again. So on the Grant Stone Ottawa, you got the speed hooks, and on the Aldens, you got all eyelets, all eyes. Now, different people have different preferences. A lot of my boot collector friends on Instagram, they prefer all eyelets. Most of them prefer all eyelets. Actually, there seems to be something sort of against these hook eyelets. Now, I will say I prefer the hook eyelets, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. I love hook eyelets. It makes it so much quicker to lace up. It's kind of a pain to have to undo these eyelets every time I'm putting on and off the boot. So the hook eyelets add speed, and I just think that they just feel better. They tie up more accurately for, you know, in my opinion. I prefer the hook eyelets. So this pair of Alden Tanker boots, again, I talked about this in my last video. Alden has so many different styles, not only of uppers and leathers, but also of soles. So here we have the Alden Commando sole. This is the basic Commando sole, not the lug Commando sole. The lug Commando sole's for, you know, it's more for getting in the mud and stuff like that. This is more just your basic, you know, somewhat sleek, dressier Commando sole. And then on this pair, again, we have all eyelets here. This is a leather sole that I had the Vibram sole protector installed on. Every pair of Grant Stones that I've seen on the site seems to be very thoughtfully planned. Each one of their makeups so far has just been so versatile. You know, whereas Alden's, you can get really specific with things. With Grant Stone, it seems like any one of their makeups could be your one and only boot. You know, that's just how versatile and well thought out they are. So I have talked about how Alden has, you know, more variety across all the different stores that sell them, but at the same time, Grant Stone isn't just willy-nilly making makeups and hoping they sell. I think Grant Stone really does a good job at taking into consideration each makeup. The welt on both, and you could kind of compare and see how the Grant Stones have a real nice chunky welt going on. Alden's welt is also amazing, but I want to talk about the mock toe stitching itself. So when we compare each of these mock toe stitching, you could see how this piece in the center seems to almost be raised up a little bit, and maybe some of you guys see how it's not flush with the rest of the leather. Hoping that the camera could capture that, but this piece stands above the surface of the rest of the leather on the upper. Same with here, and on these Aldens it's pretty much the same thing, and on these Aldens it's pretty much the same thing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you Alden experts out there might know this, but I believe this is a hand sewn mock, and I'll show you what the machine sewn mock looks like. So to my knowledge, to achieve this raised effect, it's hand stitched. On my standard indie boot makeups, this piece of the leather is flush with the rest of it. It doesn't protrude like that. And this will just give you a little idea of what the comparison of the different mock stitching. I got my Alden 405s here. These have the smooth stitching, just the surface stitching, whereas the Ottawas actually have the protruding stitch. So let's see if we can. Yeah, you can see the Aldens. See how the stitching is smooth. It doesn't raise above the surface. None of the leather raises above the surface there. Compared to the Ottawa, it does. It protrudes there. So, oh, and here's an example of the Alden speed laces. Compare that to the Grant Stone speed laces. So you can see both sets of speed laces there. And here's a chance I kind of want to go on the inside of the boot and show you what's going on the inside. So here on the Grant Stones, you'll see made in Xiamen, China. So there's that. But, so there's 8.5. I don't know what all those other numbers mean, but as far as I can tell, that is handwritten on the inside there. And then deep on the inside, you can see, all right, yeah, deeper on the inside, you can see the puzzle piece. That's the mark of the Goodyear welt in there. Here's the Alden Tankers, Navy Chrome XL. Nothing written on the inside of the tongue, but there's the Goodyear welt puzzle piece, Alden made in the USA, unlined again. And then here's similar writing. All right, and here on these hunting green suede, there's the writing. That's a little easier to read on the inside of that. 8.5. I assume that's the style number. So the B and the D, that B and D, I didn't realize this. That stands for the width, and so the front is going to be the D part, the back is going to be the B part. I didn't know that. I just learned about that recently. Each pair of my Alden says that BD, and it's because the front is D, normal regular width, but the back is B, more narrow. All right, real quick, this is a good chance to look at the lasting too. So here's Alden Berry last, Alden True Balance last, again a little bit rounder than the Berry. The Berry is just going to be a little bit more narrow, but you size the same. And then here's the Grant Stone Leo last. The Leo is pretty similar. I think maybe somewhere halfway in between True Balance and Berry, maybe. But I'll let you guys be the judge. I mean, what you think about that. And then let's come to the side. You can see the Grant Stone, how that's taller. Just about a 1/4 inch, maybe a 1/2 inch taller. Alright, so anyways, I guess I'll wrap this up now. So this has been comparison video number 2 of the Grant Stone versus Alden. This time with the mock toe stitching comparison, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought. maybe I forgot to touch on something. I'll be happy to do another video because, you know, I'm a boot nerd. So anyways, y'all have a good one, and I'll see you in my next video.